Oops. Yep, so again, guys, I'm here with my student, my buddy, Andrew Lyons. So we're gonna go over some level 1 attacks for you real quick today. One of the things we want to look at, go back and look at our video on levels of attack. Okay, if you're, and that way you understand a little bit more about what we're talking about. There are going to be levels of attack that are going to happen, and you need to understand how do I respond to this level of attack? Do I go full out on this person, or can I escape that situation and maybe not get injured myself? Anytime we're talking about street fighting, guys, there's a lot of times that you're going to be in you may find yourself in situations where I'm not going to have a referee here. Hell, it might not be anybody but me and him here. I may not have anybody to help me out of this situation should it go wrong. Okay, so we always want to take the approach of trying to escape the situation versus trying to, I really want to get in a fight with this guy because I may find out really quick I really didn't want to get in a fight with him after all. Okay, so we're going to start off with what we call a straight grab. Straight wrist grab. So notice in this particular wrist grab, let's switch to the other side so we can see our hands. Notice in this situation, his same arm, my same arm are on the same side. Okay, so he's not using his other arm to this arm. Right now it's a straight grab. So the first thing I want to do is look at how do I stand. Not necessarily at first how do I get out of this, right? But how do I stand? First off, we also want to look at, do I attack him now? Is he attacking me? Notice I paused right there to let you answer that question. Yes, he's attacking me. Anytime someone is touching me without my permission, he is attacking me. Even though he's simply grabbing me, he is attacking me. Maybe he's not letting me leave. Maybe he's trying to pull me somewhere, whatever the case may be. So I want to look at also, what are my feet doing? What are my legs doing? If he grabs me on one side, I need to make sure that I step back with the opposite leg. Why? Because if he yanks me forward, I can move with that. Okay? If I swap my feet, and notice right here, he has my right arm, but my left leg is forward. Let's pull slow. If he pulls me here, look at my shoulder. He pulls me off balance, and if he yanks me hard enough, he can yank me off my feet. So I always want to make sure that I am based back to where he can't just move me, whether he's pushing me back, pushing me to the side, or pulling me forward. I'm able to go with what he's doing to me, okay? So again, he grabs my right arm, my left foot steps back, my right foot is forward. Now, looking at where is the real threat. The real threat is not here. The real threat is his arm or his leg. He's able to kick me if he wanted to. He's able to hit me if he wants to. So the real threat, again, even though I'm feeling him physically here, but if I'm not careful, I may be feeling him physically here. So my hand is always going to come up. This is what we call simply, I'm just checking my hand with my hand up. I'm not trying to block it yet or grab it, or I'm just getting my hand up to a check, okay? So I want to keep my knees bent as well, because if he yanks me, I could spring with that versus being tall and bulky, okay? So I want to stay fairly loose. Look at the hand here. He's grabbing my hand. I want to look at my hand. I'm going to open my hand so you can see that. But his thumb and his index fingers are on the same line, okay? So I want to turn my radial nerve, that bone, right between, if you see my thumb, right between his fingers and his thumb, okay? If he holds tightly, I see this taught a lot where people say, I'm going to pull my hand back to my shoulder. But he's too strong for that a lot of times. So that's not what I'm going to do. Because sometimes people are going to show you where you can't get out, and you go, yeah, it doesn't work. Okay? Or more or less, it's not working. Right? So I'm going to push my elbow. Hold as tight as you can, brother. Hold as tight as you can. That's pretty tight. Okay? But I'm going to push my elbow to his hand. Notice I'm not yanking, I'm just pushing my elbow to his hand. And it hurts him actually, right? One more time. Okay? He's holding as tight as he can. Now watch, I'm going to pull my hand away. Okay? It's not going to happen like that. So I push my elbow towards him as I bring my hand to my other shoulder. Once I break away from this, I always want to start make it space. I want to create that space that he has to come to me again. Okay? So let's look again, one more time. He grabs my wrist. My hand comes up for a check. I step back with my opposite foot. I push my elbow, and I step and create space. Number 2. Now, let's switch sides, go. Now, though, he gives me a cross grab. I'm going to show you what he's doing here. He's reaching across and grabbing my opposite wrist. So the first thing we did was a straight grab, where he's grabbing on the same side. Okay? Now, he's reaching across and grabbing my opposite wrist. Let's look at the threats that he can pose here. If he grabs my wrist and he pulls me, he can pull me off balance. Again, okay? So I want to be looking at, again, ready. I'm always ready to spring with my feet if I need to. If he pulls me hard, I don't want to try to resist that. I don't want to try to resist that, especially if I'm a lot smaller. If he pulls me hard, I try to resist that, then I tend to, like a board, I tend to go way off balance really hard. So if he pulls me hard, I just want to be able to move with that. Okay? Now, cross grab. Same technique, opposite side. Okay? I can't pull this way. Why? Because his hand's here. His whole hand is here. I always want to pull and move towards the fingers. That's the exit point. Okay? So again, my thumb is going to rotate. My thumb is going to rotate towards his thumb and his fingers, right? Same thing. I'm going to push my elbow, but now I'm going to pull it towards this shoulder as I come out. So again, rotating that out. Again, don't forget the threat. That's the threat. My hand's up for a check. And out. Rotate my thumb to his fingers. Push my elbow inside and create space. Okay. So let's look now. He goes to a double grab. Now he's grabbing both my wrists. Okay. Now he's grabbing both my wrists. I get asked this a lot. Well, which foot do I put forward now? Okay. On this particular one, it doesn't really matter which foot goes forward because he has to yank me with both of his arms. So it doesn't matter because it's a balance point now. Okay. If he lets go of one of my hands, right, that foot's already forward. But let's say he lets go of the other one, then I might switch my position off of that. Okay. So again, he's holding here. So this is what we call my kids in my kids class like to call this a volcano move. Okay. So my hands are here, and if I try to pull straight up or straight back, it's not going to work because his pressure is pushing down on my wrist. It doesn't matter how strong you are either. Okay. I'm looking, so I'm going to clap my hands together low. I want to keep my hands low. As I clap my hands together, I never want to pull back towards my face. Nobody told me that. I learned it. So I don't want to do this because once this releases, it's going to be like a spring. It's going to pop, and you're going to box yourself in the face pretty hard. So don't knock yourself out. So as I come here, I'm going to bring my hands together, and then watch as they start to come up. I'm going to turn my palms back to me. Okay, so I'll show this so you can see here. So I'm going here and starting to turn my palms back to me, which means his hands have to rotate. Okay, so I come 1, 2, and I bring them towards my shoulder, not towards my face. So I'm doing this as I bring them inside. Okay, so we show again. So again, I'm gonna, and I don't want to come halfway here and stop and then try to pull. I want to go with my hands. You hear that? I want to bring my hands together. So as I slap my hands together, I turn, hold tight, man. I bring my hands together. Now watch my elbows. They go towards the hand again. Ah. Yeah, that doesn't feel good either. It really puts pressure on his thumbs. So again, I go 1 and 2. I'm pushing my elbows towards his hands. Because what happens, the hands, the only thing at the top are his thumbs. So his thumbs eventually have to release the hands. So one more time, we'll switch sides on this one. Good. So again, basing down, he grabs my wrist. If he pulls me forward, I can move with that. Okay? Good base back. Slap my hands together, bringing them up. Again, don't bring them towards your face. So I want to bring them towards my shoulder. Creating that space. Okay? So I'm going to stop right there on this one. Actually, let's cover one more. Let's cover the 2 on 1. So a 2-on-1, guys, can I borrow you? So a 2-on-1 is simply going to be, he has both hands on one of my wrists. Now this is a powerful move. This is a power move. Anytime somebody grabs you here, they might be just simply talking to you. But when somebody double grabs you, they're trying to pull you somewhere, right? Or maybe they're trying to push you somewhere. Okay, ideally, okay? They're usually not going to grab both your wrists and go, how was your day, right? They're going to grab your wrist and start trying to move you somewhere. This is something I teach to smaller people a lot and my kids a lot. Because a lot of kids are drug off by 2-on-1 wrist grabs. Okay, a lot of ladies are drug off by 2-on-1 wrist grab. Okay, so 2-on-1 wrist grab. Again, don't forget the principle of the same side leg forward if possible. Okay, so I want to look at right here, which side leg do I step back with? Okay, just because he's using both hands. Okay, same side arm, same side leg stays forward. If he pulls me hard again, I keep reiterating that, I can move with him. If I switch my base, he pulls me off balance. Okay, this is bad. So again, here, I still want to have my hand up, just in case I have to check. Okay, basing down, I'm going to show it here. Here, I'm going to make a fist. Don't keep your hand here. Why? Because my wrist is loose. I'm going to make a fist and make my arm strong. Okay? As I do, I'm going to reach over. I'm trying to show you from this angle. I'm going to reach over, not grab here, but I'm going to reach under my hand. Under my hand. Grabbing that little knuckle. As I do, I'm going to step forward, pushing my elbow to his wrist. Notice my hand comes to my shoulder. Moving away again, create space. I don't want to get my wrist loose and just stand here. I want to get my wrist loose and move away from it. So again, making a good fist here, reaching through, grabbing. Now, hold tight. I see this a lot, and I see it taught like this a lot, where people go, I'm just going to pull my arm up. No, you're not. He's too strong for that. Now, if you could lift 300 or 400 pounds, you could probably do it. But we always want to think in small person terms, right? So I make a fist, I reach over, grabbing my knuckle, I'm pushing my elbow towards his hands. Okay? So watch my elbow. I'm pushing towards him. Okay? So again, up, pushing the elbow towards him, creating space as he breaks away. One more time. Good. Can you switch sides? One more time. I'm just going to show you from this angle, guys. So again, reaching over. Make sure, again, look, make sure you make a good grip with your hands. Make that arm strong. So I reach across, grabbing it in, and stepping away from that. I'm always looking at the fact that he's probably going to jump on me again. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he goes, okay, I lost the wrist. I was trying to do something, and I'm going to leave. Or maybe I'll stay here and talk to you. Fine. At the same time, I want to create as much space away from him as I can, trying to, remember, especially that white belt area. The white belt is about one thing. It's about learning to survive weird or bad positions, guys. Understanding not necessarily how do I kick his butt right now, but how do I escape the situation? How do I simply get my arm back and get out of here? Right? Or at least get to a safety zone where there's more people around or something like that. Okay? I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that like button if you like it. Hit that bell on the side. I had to learn how to start saying that. Hit the likes, guys. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, guys. Come back and see us again. Look at some of our other videos.